Told you it's back. Alright, this is 2-4, solving systems of equations algebraically. What are the three ways to solve a system? We actually learned one yesterday. We did what? How did we solve these systems yesterday? Graphing. Good job. So let's learn the other two. The first way is substitution. Substitution means one variable is substituted in for the other. I hate when they use a definition in a definition, but I assume most of us know what substituted means. So it's not like there's a word called apoplectic. So and this is a definition in the dictionary. The state of apoplexy. That solves it for us, right? So I hate when they do that. Hopefully you never see me apoplectic or in a state of apoplexy, because that means like raging mad. So, all right. So let's get started. Example 1. This starts off pretty simple and gets a little bit harder until the end, which is really challenging. Elise hasn't been challenged yet, so she asked me for some hard problems. So, all right, 8x minus 3y equals -1. X plus 2y equals -12. First of all, do we have a variable that would be very easy to get by itself? That x right there, correct? So how would I get rid of a plus 2y? Subtract 2y is exactly correct. So now I have x equals -2y minus 12. Now that I have an x by itself, wherever I have an x in the first row, I can replace it with this. So we have 8 times x. X is the value, -2y minus 12. So I replace this x right here with this right here, and then we keep going. Minus 3y equals -1. And now we're going to solve for y. I would probably do distributive property. 8 times -2y is -16y. 8 times -12 is -96. Bring down the minus 3y, bring down the -1. We're going to combine like terms. -16y minus 3y is -19y. And now it's a two-step equation, which everyone in here should know how to solve a two-step equation. I would get rid of the number being added or subtracted first. So this is a minus 96, so I'm going to add 96. -19y equals 95. The -19 is multiplying, so to get rid of it, we divide. And y equals -5. So we now solve for y. So in order to find x, we're going to substitute it back in. So I'm going to go back to the original equation. I honestly don't think it matters, but I've always been taught to plug it back into the original equation. So x plus 2 times -5 equals -12. 2 times -5 is -10. We get rid of a minus 10 by adding 10. And x equals -2. If you remember back to yesterday or 2 days ago when we graphed, we found out that the solution to an equation is where they cross. So where do these two lines cross at? So we should write that as a coordinate or ordered pair. -2, -5 is your answer. So that wasn't too terribly difficult, I don't think. So let's try another one. All right, try this one with your table mates, and I'll give you a few minutes and then we'll go over it. 6x plus 5y equals negative 8. Look, multi-versatile language lesson. 3x minus y equals negative 11. This one's a little more challenging because obviously the y would be the easiest one to get by itself, but it takes a few steps to get the y by itself. Yes. Yes, you can. No, it can be x or y. You could solve for x, but that's not working smarter, that's working harder. Has to be positive. Yep. So how do we do that? All right, Jojo, we're going to solve this problem together, okay? You and I. What did you do first? Okay, I'm good with that. Minus 3x minus 3x. So then that gave us negative y equals, did you do negative 11 minus 3x or negative 3x minus 11? It doesn't matter. Okay. So like I said, we really don't want a negative y, we want a positive y. So is there something I can multiply all these terms by to make this turn positive? Okay. Negative 1 times negative y is positive y. Negative 1 times negative 3x is positive 3x. And negative 1 times negative 11 is positive 11. Kyla, you good with that? All right. Kate? Nope. All right, so Jojo, good job getting the y by itself. So that was the bottom line we messed with, right? So we can't plug it into the bottom line. We have to plug it into the top line. So 6x plus 5 times y. And what did we say y equals? Equals negative 8. So the 6x just drops down. 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times 11 is 55. And the negative 8's just kind of chilling. All right, let's combine like terms. 6x plus 15x is 21x. Bring down the 55, bring down the negative 8. Now it's a two-step equation. So this is a plus 55, so I'm going to subtract 55. 21x equals negative 63. Divide by 21, divide by 21. Negative 3, I like it better. I almost said more better and I caught myself. All right, so this crosses where at? Oh, we don't know where the y crosses yet, so what do we have to do? So y equals 3 times negative 3 plus 11. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Does anyone know what the sound of a referral makes? Is that your music? Someone has music. Please shut it off. Thank you. All right, so negative 3, 2 is where it crosses. How do we do? Yes, no, maybe so? Good? All right. Isabella's shaking her head up and down. Thank you, Isabella, for participating. All right, let's go on to the next page. Example 2. Negative 5x plus 2.5y equals negative 15. Good job with that problem, Jojo, by the way, while I'm thinking of it. Y, no, thank you. 2x minus 11. Do we have a y by itself? Yeah. So all we have to do is substitute it in. Negative 5x plus 2.5y. Y equals 2x minus 11. Noah, you distracted me. I was going to say really cool Rays jersey. I like it. So, all right. Now let's do distributive property. Negative 5x, 2.5 times 2x, I believe, is 5x. 2.5 times negative 11, let me do that real quick in my head. Negative 27.5. Please don't believe I just did that in my head. I didn't. I had it on my piece of paper. All right, question for someone smart. Jonna, thank you for volunteering. What's negative 5x plus 5x?
Wait, why is it positive?
It's not positive, it's negative. It would be 0. You are correct. All right, John, a follow-up question. Does negative 27.5 equal negative 15? You're not Jonna, but I appreciate the effort. Jonna. Does negative 27.5 equal negative 15? So our answer is no solution. So what kind of lines must those be if there's no solution? Parallel. All right, let's move on to the easier part of the lesson, in my own personal professional opinion. What? No. Oh, you'll know when we get to the science problem. Well, I would skip it. The reason I'm not skipping it is because there's an excellent chance it'll show up on the ACT or SAT. So that's why we're going to cover it. All right, solve by elimination. Anna, what does elimination mean? And you better not say to eliminate. All right, I like that. Good job. Were you going to say to eliminate? All right, just checking. Ty, you're awful quiet today. Everything okay? Tired from the game last night? Yeah, I get it. All right, so negative 2x minus 9y equals negative 25. Negative 4x minus 9y equals negative 23. All right, in order to eliminate, I need a positive and negative of the same number and variable. So,
Why?
Because that's how they get eliminated or canceled out.
No, I'm saying why. Like, why is the same?
Oh, not WHY, just Y? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because Anna said we have to cancel it out, and I agree with her. All right, so you want to get rid of the Y. So what do we need to multiply the negative 9 by to be positive 9Y? All right, negative 1. So we're going to multiply the entire top, also known as the distributive property, by negative 1. Would you rather do the bottom? It doesn't matter. On this one, we just want a positive 9y and a negative 9y, so it doesn't matter if you do the top or bottom. So negative 1 times negative 2x is positive 2x. Negative 1 times negative 9y is positive 9y. And negative 1 times negative 25 is positive 25. So here's my question to you. Jojo, we could have done the bottom one. It really wouldn't have mattered. Do we have a positive 9y and a negative 9y? So yes. So now we're just going to combine like terms. Negative 4x plus 2x is negative 2x. Our negative 9y plus 9y is 0, so we eliminated our y's. Negative 23 plus 25 is 2. The negative 2 is multiplying, so to get rid of it, we divide. So x equals negative 1. All right, Jojo, does it matter if I plug it into the top or bottom? Which one do you want me to plug it into? Okay. So negative 4 times negative 1 minus 9y equals negative 23. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. And now we have our two-step equation. So I'm going to subtract 4. Negative 9y equals negative 27. Divide by negative 9, divide by negative 9, y equals 3. Remember, this is where they cross, so our final answer is a coordinate, negative 1, 3. All right, please try this one, and we'll go over it after I take attendance. 8x plus 2y equals 30. And 7x plus 2y equals 24. Yes?
If we were to plug into the top one, it would be the negative, like 4 multiplied by negative 1.
All right, so you're saying right here? So into the top one. Okay, let's find out. Let me grab a piece of paper.
If they're both positive, you just multiply by
Negative 1. Yep. So Ty, you're saying if I would have taken negative 1 and plugged it into the top one,
Yeah.
would it have worked?
I'm not, what I'm saying, like, will I plug it into the original one or after we multiply it by
Oh, the original one.
Okay.
So either the top or the bottom.
Okay.
That's better math than plugging into the, because if you made a mistake, then the whole thing would be wrong.
All right.
So, yes. All right, attendance. Valentina, are you here? No, Valentina. Abby's here. Colin's here. Noah's here. Sakona's here. Jackson, your first period teacher marked you absent.
No,
Just so you know. Yeah. Sometimes teachers make mistakes. Tyson's here. Kate's here. Kyla's here. Gabby's here. Isabella's here. Cam's not here. Dom's here. Annalise is here. Allison's not here. Oh, see, it shows Allison was here first period. So, I don't know. Justin's not here. Anna's here. Audrey's here. How you doing, Audrey? Good. Yeah, Bill's here. Liam is not here. Crystal's here. Xavier's here. Jonna's here. Johnny's here. Landon is not here. Elise is here. Dahlia's here. Jonah's here. And JoJo's here. You got 42? All right, 30 seconds. You got 6 what? We'll find out in about 20 seconds if that's right. All right, Dahlia, question for you. What did you do to begin with? The top one? Okay. I like that. So that's going to give me negative 8x minus 2y equals negative 30. Draw my line. 7x minus 8x is negative 1x. 2y minus 2y, it's eliminated. 24 minus 30, I believe, is negative 6. And then what? I'm sorry? Okay, because there's a 1 there even though we don't see it, correct? All right. Ty, should I plug it in the top or the bottom, or does it matter? So which should I plug it into? Okay. So 7 times 6 plus 2y equals 24. 7 times 6 is 42. Minus 42 minus 42. 2y equals negative, what is that? 2, I'm sorry, 18, thank you. Divide by 2, divide by 2, y equals negative 9. So my answer is 6 comma negative 9. Remember, it's an ordered pair or coordinate, so you do need to write it as such. All right, we're doing good. We're doing good. All right, continuing on. This one's a little bit trickier, but not difficult. There's a big difference. Example 4. 2x plus 5y equals 1. Nope. When I start talking about Miss Washington, it's go time. When the fun begins. And the thing is, the hardest part about that problem is setting it up. Once you set it up, it's not bad. Yep. All right, Crystal, do we want to get rid of the x's or the y's? There's no wrong answer. You're not Crystal? Okay, that's fine. So that means we're going to have a 6x, both positive and negative, correct? Right? To get rid of the x's, we need, because we can't, 2 doesn't go into 3 evenly and 4 doesn't go into 5 evenly. So we're going to have to multiply each line. This one we need to multiply both lines. So let's multiply the top one by 3. So 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 5y is 15y. And 3 times 1 is 3. So we need to make the x disappear, so I need a positive 6x and a negative 6x. So negative 2. All right, so negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative 4y is positive 8y. And negative 2 times negative 10 is 20. Are we good? 6x minus 6x is 0, so we eliminated our x. 15y plus 8y is 23y. And 3 plus 20 is 23. Divide by 23, divide by 23, and we get 1. So let's go back. Now, I would probably use the top one because there's no negatives. Less chance of making a mistake. Colin, everything okay? That was a confused look on your face when you... Oh, I get it. I have scissors. Rubber bands. Okay. All right, so this was y. Y we have to plug in. So 2x plus 5 times 1 equals 1. 2x plus 5 equals 1. Minus 5 minus 5. 2x equals negative 4. Divide by 2, divide by 2, x equals negative 2. Negative 2 comma 1 is our answer. That wasn't super difficult, I don't think. Yes?
I feel like this is back into one that we multiplied. Is that like okay? I just want to say again.
You mean, yeah. It's just you're taking a chance of if you would have made a mistake.
Okay.
That's all. It's preferred to plug it into the original.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's keep going. Example 5 is special. Example 5, 18x plus 21y equals 14. 6x plus 7y equals 2. I don't know. Johnny, should we get rid of the x or the y? There's no wrong answer. Okay, so we have a positive 18x, so to get rid of it, we need a negative 18x, correct? So we're going to multiply the bottom by negative 3. Sounds good to me. The 18x plus 21y plus 14 is doing nothing, so I'm just going to rewrite it. We're not messing with it. Negative 3 times 6x is negative 18x. Negative 3 times 7 is negative 21y. And negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. 18x minus 18x is 0. 21y minus 21y is 0. 14 minus 6 is 8. Is that a true statement? Does 0 equal 8? So your answer is no solution. So once again, those are parallel lines. This would be a check it, but for the sake of time, we're not going to do a check it. We're just going to call this example 6. It's extremely similar to the one we just did. 3x minus 12y equals 9. Negative x plus 4y equals negative 3. I personally, and I think Ty would say so, it'd be easier to get rid of the x's than the y. Actually, it doesn't matter. So Ty, which one, x or y? All right, so we need to multiply the bottom by 3 then, correct? Yep. So the 3x minus 12y equals 9. I just rewrote it. Now I'm going to do distributive property. 3 times negative x is negative 3x. 3 times 4y is positive 12y. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. 3x minus 3x is 0. Negative 12y plus 12y is 0. And 9 minus 9 is 0. Does 0 equal 0?
Yes.
So in this case, it's not no solution, it's yes, or any number. So they're the same line, is pretty much what it's telling you. It's infinitely many solutions. All right, guess what time it is? Miss Washington time. All right, I'm going to turn my paper over. All right, I need a drink before I start this problem. Either coffee or Celsius. I went with coffee. All right.
What if they made like coffee flavored Celsius?
You know what? They make a coffee flavored protein shake that's actually really good. And it has caffeine in it. So I'm thinking about getting that again because was it this class I said it to? I stepped on the scale yesterday and it said 1 at a time.
Yeah.
So. All right, so here we go. Miss Washington is preparing a hydrochloric acid solution. She will need 300 milliliters of a 5% HCl solution for her class to use during a lab. If she has 3.5% HCl solution and 7% HCl solution, how much of each solution should she use in order to make the solution needed? The hardest part about this question is setting it up. I'm not even joking. So what do we have? We have 3.5 and we have 7. So those should be our variables.
It needs 5.
Yep, we'll get there in a second. So what example number are we on? We're on example number 7. Example 7. We're not going to write that entire problem because that would take the rest of the class. So we're just going to dive right in. And also, I promise this is an ACT, SAT question.
And I would fail.
So, well, I haven't taught it to you yet, so hold on. All right, so X is our amount of 3.5% solution. So if you remember, it said we have 3.5% solution and 7% solution. So X is going to be our 3.5. Y is going to be our 7% solution. All right, let's go back to Miss Washington. It says we need 300 milliliters of 5% solution. So we need 300 milliliters, and what are we combining to get the 300 milliliters? We're combining X and, so we know X plus Y must equal 300 milliliters. And we also know that what percent do we want? 5%. Okay. So we know that we want 0.05. I wrote it, 5% as a decimal is 0.05, correct? We just moved the decimal place 2 places. And how many milliliters did it want? 300. And what are we using to combine them to get there? The X. What was the X? How do I write that as a decimal? 0.035 X. How do I write 7% as a decimal? 0.07 Y. Now that we have it set up, it's really not that bad. Yes. Yeah, usually that something follows them. Oh? Oh. Oh. All right, let's continue on our lesson. Would it be easier to get the X by itself or the Y, or does it matter? It doesn't matter. Which one do you want to get, Abby? Y, okay. So if I have X plus Y equals 300, and we want to get the Y by itself, I'm going to subtract X. Y equals, does it matter if I put the 300 first or the X in front? Doesn't really matter. All right, so let's just do 300 minus X. So now we're going to go to our second line, and what are we going to do? Substitute in, correct? So we are going to do 0.035X plus 0.07, and then whatever Y equals. What does Y equal? 300 minus X, and then we keep going. I'm going to multiply 0.05 times 300, and it's 15. All right, what property do I have to do now? Distributive is correct. So 0.07 times 300 is 21. 0.07 times negative X is negative 0.07X. What should I do next? I was thinking about making one like a bonus. Combine like terms. So 0.035 minus 0.07x is negative 0.035x. The plus 21 doesn't magically disappear, equals 15. And now we have a two-step equation, correct? So minus 21 minus 21, negative 0.035x equals negative 6. The negative 0.035 is multiplying, so to get rid of it, and I'm going to divide by negative 0.035. So let's see here, negative 6 divided by negative 0.035 equals 171.43. So we now know what x is. How do I solve for y?
Oh my god.
Plug it back in, I think is what you meant by, oh my god. So, what happened to what? This one? I combined like terms. 0.035 minus 0.07 was negative 0.035. How did we get the 0.07? Because it said it was 7% solution, correct? How do I write 7% as a decimal? 0.07. Oh, what's 0.07 times negative x? Negative 0.07x. Because what's 0.07 times negative 1? Right here, how'd this turn into this? Alright, what is hold on, can you see the calculator? Alright, you can almost see the calculator. So what I did is I combined like terms, 0.035, 0.035, 0.035, minus 0.07, 0.07 equals negative 0.035. Well, not really. If I have 35 cents and subtract 70 cents, I would be negative 35 cents, right? So, it's mathemagic. Well, it is. I was just trying to do it in something that most people would understand with sense, with the change. You're exactly correct. All right, so now I know what x is. How do I solve for y? I plug it in, correct? We said x plus y equals 300. X was 171.43. So I'm going to subtract 171.43. So y equals 128.57. Yep. So that's how we would have to mix them in order to get our 300 milliliters of whatever we wanted.
This will probably be worth a lot.
Like I said,